It is essential to be up to date on happenings around you, and to make that easy for you, ladies and gentlemen, we present Freshlight, where we bring fresh newspaper headlines to the limelight. Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Watch, like, subscribe, and make sure your notification is activated on our YouTube channel. You can also like and comment on our pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. It's another blessed morning right here at Al-IyamoyeTv and radio, and I'm sure it is a beautiful one there too, over there, listening and watching us live on Facebook at Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. A beautiful morning, 26th today in the month of April 2023, and the midweek edition of Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Just to bring to your notice, Freshlight will always come your way at 8:15 to 9 a.m. But we apologize for starting a bit behind schedule. From tomorrow, you'll tend to enjoy Freshlight from 8:15 a.m. to 9 a.m. Thank you so much for always trusting Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. So welcome to another fresh episode of Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio, where we'll take you through different headlines in the newspapers that were brought this morning. My name is MODUPE, AKINYOSOYE, and with me today I have the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, I have the Daily Trust newspaper, and I also have the Punch newspaper and Daily Independent newspaper, where I will take you through and keep you abreast of happenings around you. And we start with Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Let's see the stories we have in the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. We have the World Health Organization warns of biological risk after Sudan fighters occupy lab. Double riders are also appearing with that. NEMA makes the requisite payment to evacuate Nigerians to now commence evacuation today. Page 3 as the rest of our story in the Nigerian Tribune. Also from the Nigerian Tribune, we have policeman killed in clash with suspected criminals in Ibadan. The Metro story is also in the Nigerian Tribune. Kano, FCT, Bayelsa, Delta, Ogun, 7 others get new commissioner of police. Page 5 as the rest of the story. NDDC, Atlanta Global sign $15 billion memorandum of understanding MOU to construct railway across 9 Niger State Delta State. That's on page 6 in the Nigerian Tribune. EFCC arraigns Ondo Speaker and others over alleged fraud. Page 26 as the rest of that story. And also rather sad one from the Nigerian Tribune, reviewed from the front page, that veteran journalist Peter Enahoro dies at 88. Page 36 has the details to the story. NAS presiding officers, APC National Working Committee meets today. And page 4 has the rest of our story. More trials needed for NAFDAC approved malaria vaccine, says the WHO. Page 2 has the details of that very story. Also from the front page, we have Biden 80 announces plan to run for second term. Page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune has the details of that. Why appointment of Alaafin Show is delayed. Makinde revealing that. Also from page 30 of the Nigerian Tribune. Also from the front page, we have news here. Disregard Apapa's letter seeking withdrawal of Obi's petitions against Tinubu. Labour Party tells tribunal. Page 5 also has the details to that story. Fire got Bodija plank market and traders count losses. Also, you would find that story in the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a couple of stories from the Nigerian Tribune. May 29 stopped Tinubu's inauguration. Lawyer tells appeal court. Ambrose Owuru, past presidential candidate and constitutional lawyer, who who ran for the presidency under the platform of the All Democratic Party in 2019, has filed a fresh motion on notice to stop the inauguration of Bola Tinubu as Nigeria's next president on May 29. The suit marked CA/CV/259/2023 was instituted on Tuesday at the Court of Appeal in Abuja, and listed as respondents in the motion and notice are President Muhammadu Buhari, the Attorney General of the Federation, and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, and the Independent National Electoral Commission as first to third respondent, respectively. The rest of that in Nigerian Tribune, May 29. Stop Tinubu's inauguration, lawyer tells appeal court. Away from that, we also have on the 2023 census an update. Over 1,000 hacking attempts on our server foiled. NPC Commissioner revealing that. And the story is revealing that the Kogi State Federal Commissioner for National Population Census, NPC, Professor Jimo Abibat Isa, has dispelled rumors making the rounds that the commission server has been hacked. Addressing newsmen on Tuesday, he said although there were over 1,000 glitches on the server by hackers, the input mechanism has made it impregnable for the infiltrators. And he explained that the server was built with imputation of different passwords at every stage of its operation, only known to the commission, making it difficult for hackers to cause havoc on the system. The rest of that story is also in the Nigerian Tribune with the headline 2023 census. Over 1,000 hacking attempts on our server foiled NPC Commissioner, revealing that. And away from that, we also have the story taking us to Kogi State. 2023 population housing census would be most credible, NPC Commissioner. The Federal Commissioner and National Population Commission in Kogi State, Professor Jimo Isa, has assured the 2023 National Population and Housing Census would be credible, devoid of previous misgivings. In a press conference on Tuesday with the theme 2023 Census, the journey so far, the Federal Commissioner expressed optimism that the Commission is resolved to make the 2023 Census the most credible ever conducted in the country. And the Commissioner disclosed that having observed the pitfalls of past censuses, the Commission has resolved that burning issues about religion, ethnicity, and language that have the potential to create division would not form part of questions that would be asked during the census. That from the Nigeria Tribune, you will see with the headline, Kogi 2023 Population Housing Census would be most credible, NPC Commissioner assuring. And also a statement credited to the Labour Party candidate during the February 25 presidential poll. Nigeria's condition needs no rest, says Peter Obi. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last 2023 general election, Mr. Peter, has said that no serious leader goes to rest in view of the present condition as the country is facing currently. Obi, who visited the Muslim community in Oka to felicitate with the people on the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, Obi said his visit to them had nothing to do with politics, and that visit should not only be because one was seeking political office. I recall that Obi had paid a similar visit to the Muslim community in Onitsha over the weekend to celebrate with them on the Salah holiday. Nigeria's condition needs no rest. Peter Obi revealed that from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Quickly also taking this from the Nigerian Tribune, we have a Niger governor direct local government chairman to sensitize people ahead of census. Governor Abubakar Sani Bello enjoins council chairman in Niger State to educate people at the grassroots on the need to participate in the forthcoming national census. And Governor Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State has called on local government chairmen in all the 25 local councils to sensitize the people on the need to avail themselves for the forthcoming national census. The governor made the call at a special iftar organized for local government chairmen, principal officers, and staff of Government House held at the office residence of the governor in Mina. Niger governor directs local government chairman to sensitize people ahead of census. The Nigerian Tribune also captures that story, of course, which is scheduled to hold between May 3 and May 5. Away from the Nigerian Tribune, let's see what the Daily Trust newspaper has for us. From the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, we have 2023 election, 96% of female candidates crash out. Also from the front page, we have federal government yet to begin evacuation of stranded Nigerians in Sudan. On malaria, Nigeria faces $2.8 billion economic burden, says federal government. And also from the front page, we could see Senate President Barrow, Akpabio, others intensify lobby, visit Tinubu, the president-elect. Also from the front page, 29 abducted as kidnappers invade FCT village. The rather sad one is also features in the front page. May 29, Kano, Kaduna FCT, others get new commissioner of police. EFCC arraigns Ondo speaker and two others over 2.4 million naira fraud. And those are the stories we have in the front page. And going through a couple of news from the Daily Trust newspaper, we have on the 2023 elections, 96% of female candidates crash out. 96% of women who contested for various positions in the just concluded 2023 general election lost to their male counterparts. A total of 1,553 women were on the ballot for the presidential, governorship, national and state assemblies elections held on February 25 and March 18 this year. And out of a total of 15,307 candidates who contested under the 18 registered political parties during the 2023 general elections, males constituted 13,754, which represented 89.4%, while the 1,553 female candidates represented 10.1%. And the analysis of the results declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) showed that only 72 women got elected at federal and state levels, while 1,487 lost. 2023 elections, 96% of female candidates crash out. Daily Trust newspaper as the story. Also from the Daily Trust, we have also May 29, FCT. Trying to get that details to the story. May 29, Kano, Kaduna FCT and 9 others get new commissioner of police. The Police Service Commission on Tuesday deployed Mohammed Hussaini Gomel as Kano State's Commissioner of Police ahead of the May 29 inauguration. It also deployed 11 other commissioners in the Federal Capital Territory, as well as Delta, Ogun, Ondo, Benue, Bayelsa, Yobe, Kaduna, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Katsina State. Chairman PSC Solomon Arase charged the new Commissioner of Police to be dedicated in their new assignment, saying their posting came with a lot of commitment, innovativeness, and demand of them total loyalty to the Nigerian nation. He said at this national transition period, they must brace up for challenges in the course of their duties. May 29, Kano, Kaduna FCT and 9 others get new Commissioner of Police. Away from that, also from the Daily Trust newspaper, on malaria, Nigeria faces 2.8 billion naira economic burden, says federal government. The economic burden of malaria in Nigeria may increase to about $2.8 billion by 2030. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Hanire, said, speaking in Abuja on Tuesday during the commemoration of this year's World Malaria Day. He said the economic burden of malaria in Nigeria for 2022 alone was estimated at $1.6 billion. Represented by Permanent Secretary Mahmoud Mahmouda, he said it was estimated that approximately 55 million cases of malaria and nearly 90,000 malaria-related deaths occurred each year in Nigeria. He said the out-of-pocket expenditure for malaria was estimated to be over 70%, and Nigerians paid as much as 2,280 naira on each malaria case. From the Daily Trust, on malaria, Nigeria faces $2.8 billion economic burden, says federal government. We get in touch with our other newspapers after this short break. We'll be back on Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Stay locked.
Appointed severally in their bid to seek greener pasture abroad. To those who work in the traveling agency business, it is a rocket science. That is not our case. Our staff travel successfully without stress, help you process answer to anywhere in the world. Do you want permanent residential visa, visiting and tourism visa, students like Europe, America, Africa? It's no big deal to us. Our years of experience and aim for us. Let's process and secure visa for you to UK, USA, and Canada. We offer Hajj and Umrah services to our Muslim faithful. What are you waiting for? Consult at number 9 House of Central Mosque, Shalalawi. 09 0 6 7 8 4 6 0. Stop wasting money. Pay for peace of mind. Talk to of travel to several in a pasture abroad. So those who are South travel.
You're still on to Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio, still taking you through different headlines in our different newspapers this morning. And straight to the Daily Independent newspaper, let's see the stories we have on the front page of the Daily Independent newspaper. Afenifere leads to what Buhari must do to earn forgiveness. with a rider that is revealing sarcasm on resurgence of banditry kidnapping after polls. Also from the front page, we have Gulf of Guinea. Buhari urges regular meetings of member states for peace and security. Page 29 as the new details of that story. Lagos PDP suspends chairman, deputy over anti-party activities. Also, that story will be found on page 6 in the Daily Independent. PSC okays new commissioners of police for 12 states. This is also resurfacing in the front page of Daily Independent, which the details will be found on page 7. JAMB commences UTME exam nationwide with over 1.6 million candidates. Page 7 as the details of a story. Joe Biden, who is 80, formally declares 2024 re-election bid. Page 6 also has the story to the rest of the story to the headline. Federal government announces date to get malaria vaccine. Also, that story is also in the front page of the Daily Independent. Avoid dangerous journey. Federal government wants stranded Nigerians in war-torn Sudan. Also on the presidential election petition court, Labour Party exposes moves to withdraw Peter Obi's petition. Sanwo-Olu, Obaseki, Mon, Peter Pan, and Nauro. Page 7 as the rest of the story. Taking a couple of stories from the Daily Independent. Let's see what we have from the Daily Independent. And APC leadership will cause APC leadership will cause crises if it zones Senate presidency, says Kwamanda. The senators are supposed to be the ones to make their choice of leaders, and they are legislators and have the capacity to choose the right person to lead them according to the laws guiding them. PDP had attempted imposing the leader on the House of Representatives but failed when Tambuwal became the speaker. If you remember, the party leadership had their choice while the representatives wanted Tambuwal and he won. If it is left for the Senate to choose its leader, I'm sure Barau Jibrin is the most qualified. Even the leaders of the party are aware of this, and this is the choice of the senators, and they will exercise their choice. They know Barau Jibrin and they know him even more than we do. It will therefore be a big mistake for the party leadership to come out and act in the contrary, and we don't want the party to act wrongly. We don't want to face crises in that direction. Those are the words of Abdul Majid Mbiki Kwamanda, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress APC, in an interview. With the headline, APC leadership will cause crises if it zones Senate president, says Kwamanda. Also from the Daily Independent newspaper, we have the story, achievements, not rigging, made Dapo Abiodun's re-election possible, says Taiwo. Honorable Waliu Taiwo, former Ogun State Commissioner for Works and the current chairman of Ogun State House of Assembly Service Commission, also revealed this in an interview, saying, I don't know where he got that information from. Was the journalist in the Ado-Odo-Ota area during the election? It was not here. And how did he know that he rigged the election? People would just sit and cook up story, probably trying to satisfy their pay masters. And there is no doubt that a governorship election in Ogun State was very tough. I knew that election would be very tough, and I used to tell the people around me that election would be tough, but that Governor Dapo Abiodun would eventually win. Also, an interview granted to Honorable Waliu Taiwo, former Ogun State Commissioner for Works and the current chairman of the Ogun State House of Assembly Service Commission, with the headline, achievement not rigging made Dapo Abiodun's re-election possible. Taiwo revealing that. And away from that, quickly go through the Punch newspaper and see the stories we have in the front pages of the Punch. On Sudan conflicts, evacuation begins today as federal government releases 150 million naira and hires 40 buses. Also from the front page of the Punch, NAS leadership Tinubu National Working Committee meets contestants. Page 2 as the story. Federal government, United States firm sign MOU on $15 billion rail project. Also from the front page of the Punch, Buhari president-elect governors mourn renowned journalist Nahoro. And that is also found on the front page. Ex-presidential candidate Ask court to stop May 29 inauguration. Page 7 has the rest of our story. Assault. Police to prosecute spare parts dealer. Commissioner of Police fires DPO. Page 5 has the Metro story. Federal government cuts power firms from national grid. That's a story from page 19 of the Punch newspaper. Quickly taking a couple of stories from the Punch newspaper. Taking on the Sudan conflict, we have the federal government. Evacuation begins today as federal government releases 150 million naira and hires 40 buses. The federal government will today commence the evacuation of about 5,500 Nigerians, including students stranded in Khartoum and other cities in Sudan. To facilitate the repatriation, the government has released a 150 million naira for hiring 40 buses to convey its desperate citizens from Sudan to Cairo in Egypt. The rest of that in the Punch. Sudan conflict, I beg your pardon. Evacuation begins today as federal government releases 150 million naira and hires 40 buses. Also from the Punch newspaper, we have the business story revealing that federal government cuts power firms from national grid. The federal government on Tuesday declared that it had commenced the disconnection of some power firms from the national grid as a result of their non-adherence to the electricity market rules. Although it did not name the affected power plants, the government explained that the Nigeria electricity supply industry was governed by rules which were absolutely necessary for the viability and sustainability of the sector. Federal government cuts power firms from national grid. The business page has the rest of the story. From I've quickly taken the Metro story. Ekiti man to die for killing neighbor over motorcycle. And Ekiti State High Court, Ado Ekiti Division, has sentenced one Ismail Laujo to death by hanging for strangulating a man, Karim Adu, over a motorcycle. Ojo was charged to court and found guilty of a count of murder which was committed on May 13, 2018. Ekiti man to die for killing neighbor over motorcycle. The Metro page has the story from the Punch. And rounding it up with a sport story from the Punch. Federal government here to host Flamingos 175 days after pledge. The federal government is yet to host the under-17 women's national team, the Flamingos, 175 days after its pledge to receive the bronze winning team at 2022 Under-17 Women's World Cup in India. And the Flamingos claimed their first ever bronze medal at the Under-17 Women's World Cup in India after defeating favorite Germany 3-2 on penalties. Federal government yet to host Flamingos 175 days after pledge. And that will be all on Freshlight on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Same time, same station tomorrow on Freshlight. Thank you so much for trusting. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Al-IyamoyeTv. My name is MODUPE. AKINYOSOYE. Good morning.